no doubt. And this is in no particular order: Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, regional Queensland, regional WA, regional SA. Brisbane, yes, you have the Olympics, and yes, you're going to get areas that will do, I'd say, some great numbers, no doubt, in this time still. Predominantly the inner north and inner east. You can include parts of the inner city into that as well. Although it's just gone up so much, some areas of Brisbane, particularly outer Brisbane, have done 120% over since 2019, last 5-6 years. And that's it's not going to do 200% growth or not 200, but let's say 250, 200, 250% growth in the space of the next couple of years. That's just unrealistic. Markets just don't work like that. Yes, people are going to say the Olympics, the undersupply and all that kind of thing, but markets can shift very quickly. Again, this is recency bias playing into it. Markets can shift within the space of literally weeks. It's not months, it's weeks. And people think and become euphoric about things that are going over and over and over, and it's just unrealistic. Now, Adelaide's another one. Again, it's generally in its winner's curse phase. I've been through that, and Perth as well. They're both in the winner's curse phase. Not really areas I would buy, especially at the moment. Gone up too much. I did speak to a recent friend of mine who does own in Perth, and he said to me, and I do 100% agree with him, that, the supply has gone from over 20,000 to 2,000 to 3,000. In the last literally 4 years since kind of the COVID period. And he's right. And he said it's not going to go down until that corrects itself. And I'm like, that's absolutely right. But the issue with Perth is you got certain areas where people own that are, I'd say, long-term resident areas. So particularly due to the inner western beaches and city region, that's the region where you have the long-term residents. Your outer regions that aren't established are all unknowing investors and first home buyers. Now, a lot of them too in Perth, because more than 60% of the economy of Perth is reliant on resources, are heavily FIFO worker and resources worker dependent industry. So look, resources is going up, and it will continue to go up, no doubt, but it's inevitable that it will not go up forever. It is inevitable you will have market issues at times. So when that turns, you have suburbs in Perth that just go flat, but you have other areas where people will absolutely flock out and leave in drones. They'll leave in drones. So that's what will happen with Perth. Adelaide doesn't have that much of an economy compared to many other areas of Australia. It's probably one of your poorer, and I'm sorry people from Adelaide, but areas to buy. And it's done more than 100% growth, literally since COVID. So, again, something with an economy like that, I'd never recommend buying. In all of these cities, I'm not buying in for probably, unless it's for a client that has to live there, and it's an area where I would recommend buying. So it has to be the perfect, should I say, trifecta or Quinella, should I say. That's kind of what they have to be. I wouldn't be buying in these areas. Regional Queensland, WA and SA, I wouldn't be touching them. Now, I'm not including regional Queensland as Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, but I still wouldn't buy there. Your Townsville, Cairns, Rocky, Mackay, Gladstone, Fraser Coast, all those sorts of areas. Regional WA, like your Geraldtons, Esperance, all those sorts of areas, Denmark, all these sorts of areas, all those kinds of really outer areas. Even you could probably even include your Bustleton area as well. Gone up way too much. Not enough industry there. Just not enough diversified industry. The same as regional SA, like Whyalla, Port Pirie, all these sorts of areas, Port Lincoln, Goolwa, all these sorts of areas, Victor Harbour, gone up a lot. Again, not an area that has a good diversified industry. Not areas I'd ever buy in. And if I'm telling you that, just listen to it. There's a reason I'm saying this. I'm not saying it because I have a vested interest in anywhere necessarily doing better than another area. It's because I've got the best interest at heart for people and not losing money. So again, don't buy these areas. Eastern Coast, Sydney surrounds, Melbourne surrounds, Hobart in a couple of years will be good. That's where you want to buy. These will by far be the best performers over the long term, should I say, in the country. So that's where we want to buy, and that's what we want to do.